most positive aspect is, I mean, everyone are expressing themselves. The crowd is expressing their happiness and then joy in watching the game, and the players are expressing their frustration, happiness, or the win or the loss, right? So it looks very lively, right, and great. So CPL, fantastic. Any strategic plans in the next few years about the major cricket league, the USA cricket? Any thoughts
I
on
mean,
that?
I think, you know, we're watching, obviously, we're watching with interest, and I'm really excited at the prospect of the USA taking off. And I think more successful cricket tournaments in that part of the world can only be good for the sport in general, right? And I think from what I've seen from the outside looking in, they seem to have the right people involved and the right philosophy behind it. Obviously, having the KKR, TKR guys involved is great. I mean, they're so switched on and so clever and so smart. Venki Mysore's a very, very clever man who properly understands all of this. So I think it's going to be great having that experience from the KKR team. So yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I hope it's a huge success. I mean, I'd love to go and watch cricket with a big crowd at a proper stadium in New York, right? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Right. You know, and I mean, obviously, I'm hugely fortunate. I've sat and watched cricket, CPL cricket in the USA, with the games that we had in Florida. I went there in 2017. It was hot, mind you, that day. It was day games in August in Florida. There was camera crew guys. So the camera crew were from all over the world: Australia, New Zealand, India, all the rest of it. And all of them said that's the hottest they've ever been in the sun. It was just like 97 degrees and 85-90% humidity. It was unbelievable. I did feel for them as I was sat in the air-conditioned press box looking down. Hi guys. it was much stay inside. But yeah, no, you know, I mean, there's what I always, you know, I wrote a book about associate cricket 4 or 5 years ago, and I did a chapter on the USA, and I think, you know, the potential there is unbelievable, but it's a long project. And while there might be cricket fans in the USA, they're not fans of USA cricket necessarily. You know, the guys who were coming along and watching CPL games were Trini and Guyanese expats following the Trinidad team or the Guyana team, or Jamaican expats watching the Jamaican team. They weren't USA fans that were there saying, you know, oh, it's really cool that we get to come and watch it, you know. And when you look at the games, you know, India have played at that Lauderhill Stadium a few times, haven't they? When those guys come and watch, it's not USA cricket fans, is it? It's the Indian diaspora who are coming and watching because they got the opportunity to watch Virat Kohli, right? And that's great. But how do you then turn that into people being excited about watching the New York whatevers or the Miami whatevers, you know, what? And that's the project, and that's really interesting and exciting, and I'm fascinated to see how they go about doing it.
That's good.
I'm sure. I mean, marketing would kind of play a big role in kind of improving the cricket in a non-cricketing nation, right? More of media and marketing. I think that plays a key role.
I actually think one of the bigger challenges is infrastructure, just because there aren't very many turf wickets and there aren't many cricket stadiums, right? So CPL, you know, we played our games in Trinidad, and there's 2 world-class cricket stadiums in Trinidad. You've got Queen's Park Oval and you've got the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Even in Barbados, which is a tiny island, it's got the 3 Ws, which can have first-class cricket, and the Kensington Oval. So the venues are there for the CPL operations team to arrive and put on the CPL, yeah? They don't have to think about ingress and egress from the stadium. They don't have to think about seating. They don't have to think about all the things they talk about, you know, like... I try and avoid these meetings because I don't really understand what they're all about. But, you know, they'll be talking about generators and how big a tent this sponsor can have and all the rest of it. But the stadiums are there, right? And I think that, in a way, is kind of the big challenge, is that how do you go about doing that? Obviously, they've just taken over this minor league cricket stadium in Texas, right? That they've invested in, which is a really exciting development. So, yeah, I actually think beyond... You know, I don't know if you guys have ever Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. I don't know if there's a Bollywood version for you to have come across. I've had this problem before where I've made references to Hollywood movies, and lots of my Indian friends have said to me, "We don't watch that nonsense. What are you talking about?" But yeah, in that film, he says, "If you build it, they will come." Right? There's an element of that, right? If you put on a really great product, people will come and watch it. But at the same time, the USA is quite a crowded market for sports, right? You already have the traditional American sports. I personally, I'm wearing a Miami basketball hat at the moment. Personally, I love baseball. Really fortunate to go and watch the Miami Marlins when I was in Florida last. But you've got baseball, basketball, American football, ice hockey already taking up a huge amount of the market. But then on top of that, you've also got rugby making inroads. Obviously, football / soccer is now huge. It is a really crowded market for you to try and break into. But as I said, the potential's there, and it should be fantastic. And I'd love it would be amazing to have a USA team playing at big tournaments and doing well. I mean, obviously we had, was it 2003 where they played at the Champions Trophy, right?
They did, and they recently got the ODI status as well. So
yeah,
infrastructure is going to be key. I think building the grounds and facilities for people to develop themselves is going to be the key, because international players will come and go, but you got to nurture the local talent and develop the local talent. That's
100%. I mean, that's the absolute key to any 2020 tournament. I think it's great to have the overseas players, and they bring razzmatazz and all the rest of it. But at CPL, you've got 4 overseas lads, but then you have 7 local players, right? And you need to have that strong local core. And if you look at teams across the world that have succeeded in 2020 tournaments, it's, obviously the big name overseas players contribute, but the teams that win are the teams that have very, very strong local contribution. The Mumbai Indians wouldn't be the Mumbai Indians without Rohit Sharma or Jasprit Bumrah, right?
Yeah.
And as much as Pollard and Malinga in previous seasons has been fantastic, you need to have that local element to it, right? And then also they become the heroes for people. Yeah. I mean, as much as, people want to see the local boys doing well, right? If you're from Mumbai, you want to see the Panja brothers bossing it because they're from where you're from, right? So, that's important, and that's a big part of the project as well. It's fascinating. You've got me on one of my pet subjects, guys. I'm fascinated in USA cricket. So, yeah.
Thank you. Good.
Let's switch to a little bit of fun aspect of it. Shrikant had some bunch of quiz questions, but before that, Danny Morrison, Gautam Bhimani, what are they to CPL? Talk to us about them.
I love them both. They're just fantastic. I mean, Gautam's just been amazing. I mean, just such a lovely guy, and so much fun. And I think the thing is as well is that what I love about Gautam is Gautam doesn't in any way take himself seriously, and that's why what he does is so much fun. It's just, I love spending time with him. He's a lovely, lovely man. Danny, when you Danny on commentary, and Danny kind of like Danny when you're talking to him and he's not commentating. He's Danny, but he's not, Danny on commentary. He's not on, but just lovely man. I think one of the things I'd say about Danny is he'll know the name of absolutely everybody that works at CPL. Yeah, he'll walk past and he'll say hello. He'll say hello to you by the name. He'll know exactly what you do. He'll ask after you. He'll ask how things are going. Yeah, just a lovely man. All the commentators are great. I mean, I think the commentators are actually the people you probably get to spend more time talking to, because the players are quite in their player group, right? So when you're traveling around with one of these tournaments, you'll end up having conversations with the players every now and then. There's a couple that you'll get quite close to, but by and large, I mean, you probably, you'll spend more time chatting with the commentators. Danny's amazing. Danny's exactly as you would hope Danny would be. So hopefully that makes you happy. If you do get the opportunity to meet him and spend any time with him, he's exactly as lovely as you would hope he would be. And I can say that 100% honestly. Yeah, he's great. And Gautam as well is fantastic. Alex Jordan, I think, is fantastic on the coverage too. Tom Moody brings a huge amount not just, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Moods isn't just a commentator. He's also the director of international cricket for the tournament. So he's one of the guys that's been really involved in selling the tournament to overseas players, is deeply involved in all of kind of the changes and all the rest of it that are involved in the tournament. So he's been hugely supportive of us over the years. Yeah, no, they're good guys. Bish is lovely. Yeah, lovely. They're all lovely. Darren Ganga also really like. Well, Ganga, I like Ganga because Ganga likes talking about cricket, and I like talking about cricket, so I can have conversations with him about cricket. Danny, less interested in talking to you about cricket.
Tom Moody, fan for life, because I'm a Sunrisers fan and he won us the tournament, so he's absolutely amazing.
I'm sure he'd be delighted to hear that. Well, like the relationship, I think one of the things I didn't realize how close him and Rashid were. But they're proper buddies. Yeah. Like just sitting chatting away and laughing together all the time. Whenever I saw them close to each other, they'd be having a chat. So yeah, he's a good guy. Huge, mind you, very, very big man. But good guy. Okay,
quiz time now, Pete.
God, this is I've been since you mentioned this before we press record, I've been worrying. I can't let myself down here.
Okay, we're good to start?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Great. So the first question, what was the highest score, team score, I would say, in CPL 2020, and by which team?
Oh my goodness, it's going to be TKR that made it, right? There wasn't many 200s, like 210-ish by TKR, there or thereabouts. Am I close?
This was actually in 2020 tournament edition, not the overall.
Oh, in 2020. I'm like, do you know, was it like randomly the Barbados Tridents or something, and they managed to get loads of runs? I honestly couldn't tell you. That's so bad. I don't like. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
The Tridents were on the receiving end, so it was by Trinidad and Tobago, 185 versus
I got that
Tridents. Right. You got the name right, Tridents. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, I said it was TKR first off, right? So I got that right as well. So I'll take that. You want to take my first answer. So what was the score? What did they make?
185.
Is that the highest score? Did we not have a 200?
Nope.
That's terrible that I didn't know that. I'll have to have another conversation with the groundsman consultant. Dave Agnew, I'm having a conversation with you. Why didn't we have a 200? Right, next question. The pressure's on now.
Yeah. Who has most number of ducks in CPL 2020, the latest version of the tournament?
Is it Chaddy? Is it Chadwick Walton?
Nope.
No.
Played for Guyana is the clue.
Played for Guyana. Chandapal Hemraj.
Brandon King.
Is it Brandon? Oh, he had a terrible tournament as well. Then him and Chaddy didn't do well this year. I'm doing really badly at this. I spent more time reading. I clearly spend more time reading and sending emails than watching the cricket, lads.
It's 4 of 11 games.
I mean, he'll come good. He's so good. He's such a good player. Yeah. Another point on that is just I think the guys with it being the first tournament back, people haven't played cricket in such a long time. It's really tough. Right. Okay, I've got to get one of these right, haven't I?
Okay, so bowling is very important in CPL in 2020 format, right? So who has the most economical spell in bowling in the latest version of T20 for CPL?
In 2020?
Yes.
It would be Chris Green, right? Who bowled 4 overs for 3 runs?
Nope. Clue is Indian.
Sorry?
Clue is Indian player.
Oh, was it Pravin Tambe? What did he get?
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
Well, I mean, there was only one Indian player, so I'm not really wrong, am I? Nags just helped me out massively. What was his spell? Because Greeny
went 3 matches, 9 overs, 36 runs.
Oh, I thought you meant an individual spell. I didn't realize you meant overall. Sorry. Individual spells, definitely Greeny. Greeny bowled 4 overs for 3 runs or something ridiculous against, I think, against the Talawars.
Yeah. So next question.
He gave me a shirt look. So I nice
Okay, great. Sure. And the next question is your favorite. Lord's Cricket Ground was named after
Okay,
whom? It was
Thomas
named after
Lord.
whom? Ah, that was very quick.
Yeah, you see, you're in my ballpark. Yeah, Thomas Lord is named after.
Great, great. Okay, now let's sign some autographs now. To whom did Chadwick Walton sign autographed after hitting boundaries?
Name the player.
Kesrick Williams.
Perfect. Right. So that's end of quiz, Peter.
Oh, that was appalling, guys. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I got like one right out of all of those questions.
It was fun. Look, we really, really appreciate your time, Pete. Thanks very much. On behalf of our entire Waadaplaya team, thanks for joining again. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And remember, we appreciate a comment or go tell a friend or a family member about our show so that they can too spread a word about our show. Thanks very much again.